Welcome to another episode of Studio X. We're just having a conversation today. I wanted to get into the topic of self worth and what does that mean to you? For me, self worth is putting yourself before someone else. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that you're better than that person or you shouldn't go all out for that person or anything like that. Self-worth for me, simple and plain. Okay, I'll give you an example. If I tell you that you did something to me and you're not changing it, okay, well, I gotta go because obviously it's not gonna get fixed here. I feel like a lot of people tend to give so many chances and don't even see incremental results in the person that they're actually trying to um, win the heart of, if you will. I feel like, especially in today's society, we are in a time where people aren't even trying to fight for the other person. And that's what kills me. You remember back in high school when you would break up with somebody and you would just be, oh my God, you know, I haven't got over so and so in so many different weeks, in so many weeks or whatever. Now today, shoot, you could break up with somebody right now and they'd be cool tomorrow. Why? Because they're on to the next. You know, and getting back to the topic about self-worth, you have to understand how much you're worth. You have to understand what you're willing to pull it up with before you call it quits. Um, and like I say, if someone seems to not be trying for you and you seem to be the only one putting in the effort, I mean, hey, sometimes you just got to cut your losses. It is what it is. I remember Tyler Perry was saying, some people are like roots, some people are like branches, and some people are like leaves. Leaves are, they come, they go. They're just supposed to be there to help you learn something. And then it's on to the next. You're going to get some branches in your life. And, with those type of people, they'll be there for you for a little while. But really, it's the roots that you're supposed to actually be with. If you can get a couple of roots, in your life, man, it would definitely change some things. But like I said, once you get to the point where it's you or that person and you know that like, hey, I'm not I'm not about to keep getting hurt. I'm not about to keep, giving my all to this person and they don't want to help me. Um I feel like appreciation is out the door these days. I feel like we don't appreciate what the other person does anymore. Not speaking on my own terms, just speaking in general. I feel like people just don't care anymore. I feel like marriage is a lost art. You know, back then you got married at a young age because you was in love and not to get off topic, but whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to being excited about a woman? Whatever happened to being excited about coming home and seeing your girl or, getting to know somebody and falling in love? It's almost like falling in love is like a lost art nowadays. Nobody wants to court a woman no more. Nobody wants to open up doors, pull out a chair, work hard for the woman. And what I mean by work hard, I mean go all out for her. There's nothing wrong with that, fellas. You know, uh, I have a lot of female friends who come up to me and tell me, "What do you guys want? What are they looking for?" And to be honest, we are in a time where we got so much social media. We got men have options. That's the problem. Men and women, but men have options. Every man will tell you, I want the girl next door. I want somebody nice, cool, got something in common, respects herself. She ain't all just on social media, just showing her body and this and that. Um, that's the woman we typically marry. The church going girl, real quiet, and but also have a personality. She just ain't out there, if you will. Body count low, if you know what I mean. Men will say they want that woman. And that's the woman that gets the ring. Um, but while they're going through what they're going through, they're having fun, you know. And and that's another thing. It's almost like it's a double standard. You know, men can have fun and women can't. I feel like both sides should be able to have fun. If you ain't got the ring on your finger, hey, by all means, depending on what your religion is or if you're a spiritual person or whatever like that, you know, I got married early, young, and I've been happy ever since. I remember a lady, she came up to me shortly after I got married, and she was like, boy, why you went and got married? What you do that for? And I remember telling her, I was like, with all due respect, ma'am, it's not my fault that God wanted me to be happy for a long time. Not to knock people who got married at 40, 50, 30, or whatever like that, but to be able to say I got married at a young age and still married today will be 14 years this April. Hey, that's a big accomplishment for a young person. Has it always been perfect? Of course not. It's marriage. It ain't gonna be perfect. But there are things you can learn from it. And I'll share this with you guys. I remember when I was 19, I went to my wife and I said, look, we're gonna create these pillars, if you will, to base our marriage on and live off of. And it was called SACC, SACC. And what SACC was, hey, okay, go in there, daddy, recording. And what SACC was is sacrificing for that person, um, appreciating that person, appreciating that person's being, appreciate that person's existence, appreciating the things that they do for you, day in and day out. The first C, because it was SACC, so the first C was compromise. That's a big one. When you don't feel like getting up and doing them dishes, when you don't feel like coming home and drawing her a bath or dealing with the kids and stuff like that. I put it like this, and I know a lot of women gonna probably be like, what? If she been at work all day and you was off today, what do you think should have happened at the house? House should be clean. Kids should be taken care of. Some should be on the stove. If you don't know how to cook, look it up, figure it out. She been at work all day. So things should be taken care of at the crib. And vice versa. If you've been busting your butt all day and she at the crib, hey, kids' bath need to be drawn. Homework need to be checked. Food need to be made. Stuff like that. And that's what marriage is all about, give or take. It's not supposed to be one-sided. We live in a world where masculinity is being at the forefront of topics today. Men being more masculine. Man need to be taking out the trash. A woman need to be in the kitchen. She can take out her trash. Back in the day, a parent would teach their daughters how to do it all. And y'all know where I'm going with this. If I teach my daughter how to do it all, then when she gets by herself, she ain't gonna need a man to do it for her. Now, I'm not saying that to make her seem empowered, like, oh, I don't need a man. My mama told me how to take care of myself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she has the option, or she has the knowledge to take care of herself if need be. But there's nothing wrong with a woman sitting back and letting a man be a man. You know what I mean? And like I said, we have this feminine thing going on, feminism, and it seems like what are they saying? Like equal pay and equal opportunities. I fight for that all day. I feel like a woman should get paid as much as a man should get paid, especially if they're doing the same work, if they have the same education. Just because she's a woman Hey, she wouldn't be there. She wouldn't fill out the application if she couldn't lift 50 pounds. I can understand that. You know, that means she's not qualified. But if that woman is qualified to do the job, she needs to get paid what the man's getting paid. That's just how I see it. That's how it's supposed to go. Um, but like I say, getting back to self-worth, man, know your worth. Know why you're in it. If you ain't getting what you thought you should get out of this deal, being with somebody, then move on. And don't be in this relationship just to be in a relationship. I understand some people might be in relationships because financially they can't get out the relationship. Now, that's a tough spot to be in. You got a woman making X amount of dollars and you got to be with her and deal with her ish because you can't afford to be by yourself, or you can't afford to keep the lifestyle you're living by yourself. That's tough. Or a woman, you might have to do what you got to do. When you get tired of being sick and tired, you will do something to get up out of that situation. You will move in with your mama, move in with your sister. I mean, I've heard of stories where people have to go to a shelter home with their children because the devil is a lie. This man ain't about to treat me the way he been treating me. Why stay in this relationship when I'm not happy? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, know your worth. Know what you are worth. It's so important to you, to your children, because whatever they see mommy going through, they gonna think it's right. If he's slapping mommy upside the head, your daughter gonna think it's okay for her to do it. If she has that mindset. I'm not gonna say that 100% she would, but if daddy's beating on mom, then that young man is gonna start hitting girls. That's where it starts. We gotta raise our young men and stop putting their hands on women. But we also have to teach these young girls how to not provoke situations. It's not don't and what I mean by that is, because I know people gonna say, well, you still shouldn't hit a woman. I'm saying don't put men in those types of situations where they have to protect themselves, because I feel like they should protect themselves. Anybody tell you that? Back in the day, a woman slapped the crap out of you, slap a man or whatever, and everybody, you can't touch her. You can't touch her. So I'm supposed to get my behind knocked out by this woman and not protect myself. But at the same time, if you can refrain from it. But at the same time, a woman shouldn't be putting her hands on, because at that point, that's when it gets equal, if you know what I mean. There's situations where, a woman might put a man in a situation where, well, he hit me. They all in the club. He hit me. That there you go right there. And then you got to go over there and be Mr. Bad. And then you never know what might be waiting for you outside when y'all get to the car, if you make it to the car. Them type of situations. I always say the woman that a man, or the man that a woman goes after, is kind of a reflection of themselves. If you want a man that's gonna spend a lot of money and he gonna buy you this, Gucci that, Prada this, when you stop it, or when the money dries up, bruh, she gonna be like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because you sold her a fantasy. You sold her this lifestyle. And that's what she wants to continue living like. Makes sense. Vice versa. I mean, if you dress in a certain way, you look in a certain way, he's gonna get accustomed to that look. But when things dry up, he gonna be, and it's like, no, you can't do that. That's how it started. That's how I need to be. That's how I need to finish. I was looking at a podcast with David Mann, Mr. Brown, basically, and he was saying how the young lady was like, wait, he need to have 6 figures. He need to have a car, that a Benz. He need to have all this going on. And he was like, okay, all that stuff that you saying that he needs to be, you be it. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to be what they're looking for. Because how you gonna expect him to be all this and you ain't nowhere close? You want him to be in a mansion, but you in efficiency. Come on now, that don't make sense. You want me to bring all this to the table, but you ain't bringing nothing. Make it make sense. Also, I'm just, how do I want to say this? My son just stepped into the studio, if you will, distracted me. I hear you, son. But yeah, like I said, this is self-worth. This is motivational speaking for you right now. I know a lot of people might either agree or disagree with what I said, but if you caught anything in this conversation today, please give this video a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to the channel, man. And I promise to give more and more content as much as I can. You guys have a blessed day, and thank you for coming to Studio X.